everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into the new foundation that was just launched from Patrick Ta Beauty. I've actually been wearing this foundation for the last 4 days. Today is day 4, and in this video, I'm going to apply the foundation and share my thoughts on the foundation and what tools I prefer to use when applying this foundation. And then we will get into my 6-hour daylight check-in where I take you guys outside, zoom you guys in really close so you guys can see how the foundation looks up close outside in natural daylight. And then I will do some swatches and comparisons of the 2 shades that I picked up. Then we will jump into my 12-hour check-in where, again, I zoom you guys in real close, show you guys how it's wearing, and then in my 12-hour check-in, I will get into my final thoughts. Before we get into the information about the foundation, up here on the screen is an image of my age, my skin type, my skin concerns, what I like and dislike in foundation. I always feel like it's important for the audience to know what the person behind the camera likes and dislikes when it comes to complexion products especially. I will also list this information in the description box down below, along with other popular foundations out on the market and what shades I wear in those foundations, so you guys can get an idea of my complexion and the shades that I typically wear. So this is called the Major Skin Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo. When I first saw the images of this, I was very excited about it because I personally love his blush and cream duo. It's one of my absolute favorite blush formulas, and to be able to dip into a corresponding shade in a cream formula and tap it over top, it's just, they are perfect. They're one of my favorite blushes in my collection. So I felt like this was a very good idea. I like having my foundation and my powder all in one. It was a great idea. So this foundation comes in 24 different shades. I picked up shade medium 3 and also medium 4. In the review, I'll be wearing medium 3. Medium 4 was a little bit too dark for me. I will also be sharing swatches of those 2 shades next to other foundations that I have in the medium to tan category, so you guys can see how those shades compare. So this duo is being described as a buildable, breathable cream formula that melts into and moves with the skin. It also includes an air-spun setting powder that blurs the appearance of pores and creates a flawless looking skin-like finish. This foundation is claiming to be medium coverage, and I feel like it's definitely medium coverage. I have a lot to say about this foundation, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Let's jump into the application, and I will see you guys all in my next check-ins. Let's go ahead and jump into the application of this foundation. I've actually been wearing it for the last couple days. I think today is day 4. I've been wearing shade medium 3. It is a tad bit too warm. The undertone is not quite right, but I have been able to make it work for testing purposes. It's a little bit too dark for me and a little bit strong undertone. So there it is. But I have found that applying it with a brush is the best way for me to apply it. It applies beautifully with a brush. It spreads really evenly. I have tried it with a sponge, but I felt like I had to use more product to build it up with a sponge. Basically, this provides a nice medium coverage with a brush, but when you use a sponge, it feels like you have to keep digging in and kind of building it up to a medium. And so for me, it's just a brush with this one strictly. It just works the best with a brush. So I'm gonna take my BK Beauty 101 and I basically take that swipe and spread it as far as I can. And it spreads really evenly, and you don't really need a lot of this. So it's not super pigmented like the KVD Good Apple foundation, so it's not that pigmented, but it does spread really well, and you don't need to apply a lot of it. I did not put any primer on underneath this, so I put my skincare on, I would say about an hour ago, so I don't have anything underneath it but my skincare. And I haven't really needed to wear a primer with this, so the last 4 days that I've worn it, I haven't put anything underneath it other than my skincare. You can see it is a little bit too dark. So I do have fake tan on and it matches my fake tan good, but my skin has lightened. I did a chemical peel back in March, and I do feel like my face has lightened since I had that done. in my opinion, this one wears better and looks better throughout the day applied with a brush. I feel like when I applied it with a sponge, it didn't quite wear as well. It was heavy in a few areas, especially over texture. And if you have texture like I do, typically that's like the first place that you cover when you apply foundation. Like that's kind of a habit of ours. So I will grab the sponge, go directly over my texture. Well, the problem with that is you're putting a lot of product right there and then blending it from that point. And this foundation is not really necessarily meant to be caked. It's not meant to apply a lot. You don't really need a lot of it. And I wouldn't recommend applying a lot of it because it's not going to wear as well if you do. So I applied a small, even amount all over the face, and this looks flawless right now. Okay, so I'm done. It's very simple and very quick to apply, especially with a brush. It just smooths and blends out really easily over the face. Hardly any fuss. Like, this is a really easy foundation to apply. You don't have to overthink it. You can just apply it where you need it and blend it out. It's very simple, very quick. I mean, this is my 4th day applying it, and every single time I've done it, it's always been very easy to work with and very easy to apply. So right now it is 10:41 in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup, and then I'm going to come back and I will apply the powder on one side of the face and then one side without. Just for those of you out there who don't wear powder, I want you guys to see how this foundation wears without the powder. And for those that do like the powder aspect of this duo, you can see how the powder does apply and how it wears over top of the balm foundation. I'm gonna go ahead, go off camera, finish my makeup, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I went ahead and threw on a little bit of makeup. So right now it is 11:05. So I'm gonna go ahead and powder this side of my face. Now the nice thing is this side does have the little cover. So when you put your brush into the powder, you don't have to worry about picking up any of the actual foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a little bit of it and I'm gonna tap off, and I'm just gonna set this side of the face. I haven't done my brows yet. I wanted to wait until after I got done powdering before I do my brows, but okay, so I'm done. So this side of the face has the powder on. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna spray it with anything. I'm just gonna leave it and see how it wears compared to the side without the powder. You can see that the side without the powder does have a little bit of that glow to it. This side doesn't feel like it needs to be powdered though. So this is more of a satin finish. So it's not dewy and it's not matte. It's kind of in the middle, which I kind of like that it's on the middle road because there's things that you can do to make the foundation more dewy and there's things that you can do to make it a little bit more on the mattifying side. So I'm not mad at the fact that it is more of a natural finish, and we're gonna see how it wears. I didn't put anything on the forehead. I normally put a little bit of contour and bronzer up there, but I didn't worry about that today. So I'm gonna go ahead and go about the rest of my day. So that's it for the application. I will see you guys all in my 6-hour daylight check-in. Okay, so I'm back to do a quick check-in on this foundation. I'm now sitting in a hot car because I had to turn down the air. It is 97 degrees where I'm at right now and hot, so it's really hot. I'm starting to get a little bit sweaty. It's 3:38, so I'm about an hour shy from my 6-hour mark. It's starting to get really hot in the car, so I'm gonna make this quick. We're gonna go ahead and zoom in. And you can kind of see that my face is quite shiny. It is hot in here, like I said, but this is the powder side and this is the powder side, and the powder is kind of controlling some of the shine more so than on this side. You can kind of see the shine starting to peek through. But we'll see how this foundation holds up because I'm quite hot. But I wanted to show you guys how this foundation holds up because I'm going to be doing some errands over the next hour or two. And I'm going to be going in and out. I mean, it's hot today. It's almost 100 degrees outside. And that's dry heat. I live in Utah, so it's dry here. So we'll see how this foundation holds up. If it holds up well, right, under going in and out and running errands and kind of sweating and all of that. I'll do another check-in here in the next couple of hours, but that's it for this one. I'll see you guys all in the next check-in. Okay, so I wanted to pop back on camera really fast. I just got home from running my errands. Right now it is 6:16. I'm still really hot, you guys. It's still in the 90s, high 90s here. It's really, really hot. But so you can kind of see that my face is shiny, but the thing that you'll notice is that the foundation has held up really well, even though it's been a very hot day. So this is the side with the powder and this is the side without. And I am looking shiny because it's hot. So I'm sitting outside in my porch. It's just hot. That's just what it's gonna be, right? So let's go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see how it's holding up. But it doesn't look makeup-y anywhere. Like, it looks so good. And this is kind of the place where you're gonna perspire, but it looks really good. Even though I'm shiny, you guys, but it is holding up so well. Center of the face, let's see. Gosh, this foundation looks good. So even though I'm really hot, you guys, this foundation looks amazing. It really does look really good. I'm not planning on going anywhere from this point, so I'll probably cool down, but we'll see how it looks in 12 hours. My dog's trying to jump up on the chair. But anyway, later on this evening in my 12-hour check-in, by then it will have cooled down and we'll see how it holds up. So that's it for my 6-hour daylight check-ins. I will see you guys all in my 12-hour check-ins, which will be my final thoughts. Okay, everyone, I am back to do a 12-hour check-in. So right now it is currently 10:50 at night. So I've officially had the foundation on for 12 hours. We're gonna go ahead and zoom in. This side is the side that I powdered and this is the side that I didn't. So let's go ahead and zoom in. So right here you can see everything stayed intact. So as much as I was sweating earlier today, everything stayed intact. I would say this side with the powder looks a little softer, but this side wore really well, even without the powder. You can see I've lost a little bit of the foundation right here around my nose, but again, that's from me doing this, and that's just gonna be normal wear. But you can see here on the forehead, everything is still intact. So a lot of the times, if my foundation is going to break away, it always breaks away right here. And this one has stayed intact all day. It looks really good. It looks really good around here. I haven't lost any of the coverage on this side. This is a side with no powder. And I haven't lost any of the coverage on this side. And this is a side with powder. I'm probably a little shiny, but it has been 12 hours, so that's to be expected. But overall, I feel like everything looks really good. That's it for the check-in. Let's go ahead and jump into my final thoughts. With the application and all the check-ins, and I do hope that the swatches and comparisons were helpful, let's go ahead and get into my final thoughts. I don't think it's gonna be a surprise to any of you guys. I actually really like this foundation. For me, this has been a 5 out of a 5. It is a really beautiful foundation. It wears beautifully. This is not a foundation that you want to wear a lot of. It's not really necessary. That's the reason why I like the brush application, because I can control how much I apply. I can put on an even thin layer, giving me the coverage that I need, but it's not caked up and there's not too much setting on the skin. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I really like this foundation. I want to try to find a lighter shade, especially with us moving into winter. I think this shade's going to be way too dark for me in the winter. But so far, I actually really love it. I think it wears beautifully. It looks really natural. It feels really good. So it doesn't feel like you have makeup on. It's not a very thick foundation. And like I mentioned in the application, I like that it is more of a natural finish. For those that want to make it a little bit more dewy, you can wear a more hydrating primer underneath it. And for those who want to wear it more on the mattifying side, you can wear a mattifying primer, and you can set differently with the powder. I like this. Like, I think he knocked it out of the ballpark. I was not a huge fan of his bronzer duos because the undertones were off on those, but this is a 5 out of 5. I really haven't found anything that I don't like about it. I like the convenience of having the foundation with the powder. I really like the powder. Really like this powder. This powder is very silky to the touch, but it's not heavy. It's very silky and it gives you a tiny bit of coverage, but not enough to make the foundation look weird or anything like that. It's very silky and I like the powder. I really like the powder. Now, you guys know that I typically use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder as a finishing powder. And I place it like right here in this area to kind of blur out the pores and stuff like that and just kind of smooth it out. I've noticed with this powder, this does a great job all on its own. It's a really nice foundation powder duo. Like, I really like it. It is, I mean, like I said, I can't find anything bad to say about it. It wore great. It looks natural. It feels really good. I also feel like it will work for a wide variety of skin concerns and skin types. So whether you're dry or you're oily, combo, normal, I do feel like this could work across the board. Like I said, what you wear underneath it, whether it's mattifying or more hydration, what you wear over top of it, it's got a lot of versatility with the foundation and powder, and I personally love it. It's a 5 out of 5. That's my review. Sound off down below. How many of you guys have picked up this foundation powder duo, and what's been your experience? I know with complexion products, we're all different, and we all need something different from our makeup. So if you guys had a different experience than I did and you don't like it, definitely share with us in the comment section down below your experience. I'm always one that thinks that everybody is entitled to their opinion, especially if it differs from mine. I want everybody to feel safe in the comment section to share your experience because we all have different experiences and we all have different opinions. So definitely sound off down below. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.